morning. It's a Monday morning. It's extremely early. I learned yesterday I don't do good videos late in the day, so I'm doing this like I just basically woke up and sitting here sucking on my coffee and not exactly sure what my thoughts of the day are. I have a couple immediately, obviously, because I have my own stuff. As soon as I wake up in the morning, my own stuff is knocking on the door, and most people don't understand what that's like to have to, unless you were an amputee and you woke up without your legs, because they're the only people that seem to relate to what it's like to wake up um, and have immediate physical issues that you have to take into account for. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like waking up in hell. Many years for me it was, but I've learned to, accept that immediate shock of pain, my first consciousness. It's a fact of life for me for the rest of my life. A lot of people they couldn't handle that concept. I understand because I didn't want to handle it either. That's why I took drugs for many years. But no drugs this morning, no drugs today. Um, Monday morning, very early. People wonder about morning routines. Well, I guess maybe that'll be the theme for this morning because I'm just sort of not going anywhere. But morning routines, a lot of because I've talked about routines and the detriment that they can be, even though people want you to have routines in the morning, especially. They're like, dude, you got to have the morning routine. You got to wake up and do. And it's like I said about the detriment of having a routine. Those very people, if they woke up like me in the pain that I'm in different days, their routine wouldn't work. It just simply wouldn't work. So they would fail. They would not, and then eventually, like I did, they would go through a period where they got crushed, and they'd have to learn a new way up. So yeah, morning routines are important, and yeah, you've got to do certain things for your body and for your mind and all those things. Um, but something I learned from my late partner Audrey, and I'm going to be talking about her a lot more in the future because I never had a better teacher. And my daughter brought it up recently about Audie mornings, we called them. Um, but Audie had a routine, and she had a different routine than most people. She didn't wake up in the morning and start jamming around. In fact, her routine was the opposite of that. And I've incorporated that in my life. And my daughter brought it up. She said, I wish I had Audie mornings. And I said, you know what, daughter? I have Audie mornings now every day because I learned from her how to have an Audie morning, how to start your day right. Despite the fact you got people ramming down, you need to have a routine. You need to wake up with fire. You need to wake up with love and light and fucking rainbows. Well, guess what? In my world, you'd be sucking because there ain't no rainbows coming. The only rainbows coming are the ones I make. So, Audie World, how do you do a morning routine? It's like it's only 5 o'clock on a fucking Monday morning. Am I worried about anything? No. That's how you do an Audie morning. I mean, this is like somebody, I got my coffee. I don't always do coffee. And it's not really good for me. I do one cup, but I do this cup because that was an Audie thing. I don't even know if she liked her coffee, but she did her 1 cup of coffee. And yeah, she did it for, a lot of people do it, make their bowels move. So there you go. That's a good routine to have. But the main thing about the coffee is like a lot of people don't fuck with somebody when they're having a coffee because I wake up and I'm a chitter chatter little box like right now. And poor little Audie, she used to wake up and have to put up with me. But I knew, just basically like anybody should know, till she had her coffee, leave her alone. Let her get going, have her coffee. So that was her part of her routine, whether she liked it or not. She got up and did her little coffee thing, but she had all these other little things that she did as part of her morning routine. But they all meant, like I said, to do the opposite of what other people do, which is gearing up, going fast into a day. She did little things to let her mind and body and soul know that she could relax into the day. Everything that she did in the morning was just to relax and get chill on and get her flow going. And she never went to work until like 10 o'clock. She never left until 8 or 9. So it wasn't like somebody was running out the morning like really early. In fact, she would sometimes wait till noon to schedule her clients. You know, that was the other thing. She kept a flow depending on how her energy was and her client load and when she would go to work. She changed those things. She didn't have a set routine on that. But her whole morning routine was about softness and relaxation, about flowing into the day, feeling herself. She had a little swim routine where she'd go down swim in the river. She had a walk routine where she would go out and take a walk. Nothing long, nothing hard. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about that the other day. Nobody walked like Audie's walk in the morning because, again, she didn't do it the same way every day. And she used to take me out after my surgeries, you know, and she would always, without even saying anything, she would keep my pace. It wasn't about walking fast or walking anywhere. It was just about getting up and moving in the world and relaxing into the world. So that's an Audie morning. And Audie mornings are, and like I told my daughter, it's up to you to do the Audie morning. It's up to you. Yeah, you got to go to work at a certain time, but but before that, that time is yours to schedule. In time, I'm seeing a lot of people, they don't know how to manage their damn time, and it's almost amazing because I know some of them have expert people helping them manage their time, and yet I look at them and I see them deteriorating because they are not taking enough time for themselves. Self-healing, you know, because I'm a self-healing practitioner, I see that so clearly when now. You know, I'm getting better and better at it, but boy, is it becoming very clear when I see people not taking care of themselves, whether they think they are or whether they're teaching self-care and are not doing it themselves. But mainly is people just thinking that they're taking care of themselves. They're thinking they're doing the right things, and they're really not. And they need somebody to tell them, like, that one thing you're doing, you think you're doing for yourself, you're actually adding stress on. And then this other thing that you're not doing, which is like right there in front of you, like taking time for yourself, these simple things, palming, you're not doing those things. But you're putting all kinds of effort thinking that you're going to make, this thing happen over there, and it's going to relax you. And it's doing the opposite. You see what I'm saying? So I see people trying so hard to relax that they're defeating the purpose. They're actually making themselves more anxious. And anxiety is not only my issue. Everyone has it. I just have it extreme. So again, I guess that's what helps me see these things is what's extreme in me is I'm now in life starting to see so easily in others, and at times, have some of the ways to work them out. And Audie morning is the best way to work things out. And Audie morning came to me in a recent VA pain group, because they were sort of pushing that routine, wake up, just start hammering away at your day, have a hard day, make it hard. And of course, I had issue with that. And when you're in pain, especially, you've got to try to do things easier in an easier way. So a big theme flip, is quit listening to David Goggins, who I listen to, but he's always downing on his own self and his own body and pushing himself and calling himself a bitch and a pussy and get out there and do it first thing in the morning. Quit listening to those people. I grew up listening to Jack LaLanne, and Jack LaLanne, I would say he was moderate because he wasn't like do, but he also wasn't like, just lay there on your ass. He was in the middle. He was, and he wasn't like super perky, you're going to feel great. He was a little bit like that, but not too much. But he had this regular, stable morning routine. He did every single morning. I think it was like at 5 o'clock, the guy get up with the world for a half hour and take everybody through a nice, gentle routine every single day. It was an amazing man. I mean, I would love to emulate him, but I'm not him, and that's not me. He had basically no injuries. He was able to wake up and do the same simple, light routines. I'm not able to do that. I have to wake up and adjust to my day. Some days are extreme, some days are light. I'd like to get some evenness and balance to that. Of course, life is a lifelong work, and I'm getting there. But until then, this is today's video. It's like bright and early on a Monday morning. I've got a million things I could be doing today and this week, and I haven't even decided what I'm doing today. I got a general idea. I'm doing laundry somewhere in the middle of this day, but because it's up to us to decide how much we need in life, how much money we need to get those things we need in life. That's all on us. And then the job that we take to get that money, to get those things that we think we need in life, that's all on us. So when I listen to people sitting back crying about their job, their life, their bills, or whatever, I have sympathy, obviously, because many of these people commit suicide because they get in such a place they can see no way out. I mean, obviously, I have sympathy for that, but at the same time, I clearly see you put all that on yourself. Put it all on yourself. I mean, that's why homeless people are homeless people. At least they got the brains to walk away and call it quits when it's time to. It's not worth your flipping life, basically. Something that people don't get about homeless people, and because they're so different now, they're not the same as in my day. But in my day, a lot of us, we were homeless by choice because we wanted to do our own thing. That's why there's a section of homeless out there that always going to be homeless, and these Karens and do-gooders don't flipping understand them, and they think that they're behavioral problems. They're not behavioral problems. I know these guys. They're just like me. They got a code. It's just not your fucking code, all right? So get over it. But yeah, they got a code, and they're good people, and they got their little peculiarities, just like everybody does. People talk about getting along with the mentally ill, but they're all talk until it comes time to get along with the mentally ill. And it's not like I'm out there trying to get along with every mentally ill son of a bitch, because some of them are past my professional abilities. They're great people, but their minds are gone. And they're angry and they're violent. Sometimes those people need to be medicated and locked down. That's the way they did it in the old days, and there was a reason for that. We just got stupid in the last 40 years, ever since Reagan dumped them out on the streets. So, okay, that's enough rambling on. So, yeah, morning routines. And mine is different every fucking morning, depending on what I give. Oh, coming back to the pain group, they were asking, what do you have to do in a day? Well, when you're in pain and you've got issues like what I've got going on, you don't have to do anything other than go find a doctor. And that's what I told them. I said, I don't have to do a goddamn thing today except go find a doctor, maybe. You know, in the end, you don't even have to eat if you don't want to. Because a lot of days I don't feel like it, and I force myself. But still, normals, they don't understand the realities of a extreme pain-filled life or a disabled life. They are so far separate worlds that they will never understand. And what I'm doing is just trying to cross back over from the disabled person world and try to give the normals a dose of what it's like for us, because that came out in yesterday's video of me being walking karma and laying some people out for not having manners for disabled people. And that's where it comes from. It comes from a lot of years of people walking on me, and then me turning around and seeing society still walking on disabled and weak people. And that will never change. And it's not my job to go around fixing that everywhere. But at the same time, when I see it, I'm sensitive to it. And I will generally interject myself into the situation. So I'm hoping that that's not going to be my duties this week. I don't really have an agenda this week. I'm pushing into not necessarily pushing into my pain. I'm pushing into what the surgery has given me and what it has not. This week is a very different place. We're getting close to the stage where we're going to go check and see if I've got a good fusion or not. So it's time to just sort of tell my mind that it's there, it's done, and not create any pain, and push my boundaries slightly without creating any more pain, because I just got my pain level back to a manageable level after a couple of days of it being extreme, and I don't want to lose that. It's very important that I set a new tone for my whole body for the rest of its life during this transition period. Okay, so, whatever your morning is on this Monday morning, whatever energy you got, be happy with it. Take care of yourself, flow with that energy, keep moving through your evolutions one thing at a time when you're ready for them. And when you're not, just stay where you're at for a little while longer. But move through your evolutions and think about the desires. This came up in class. The desires that you want to fulfill this week, and the ones that you can fulfill. Chip away on making a good life for yourself this week. Don't make this week about the job or other people. I'm distinctly making this week about myself. I'm always about myself, but it's like I guess you never. Some people do it too much because it's obvious they seem to be all about themselves, and maybe that's why I'm not. And some of us aren't enough about ourselves. So um, I guess what I'm trying to say to myself and everyone is, even though you think you're always thinking of yourself, there's some of us who really aren't, even though we think that we are. And we really need to look at that and set some time aside, make sure that we're really just thinking about ourselves. And by God, if I can't do it right after a surgery, then I never will. It's just never, I'm never going to get it. So this is my last shot, and I hope that you take your shot and make this week about yourself, regardless of your job and your family. Take care of those responsibilities, but put the extra effort, extra thought into your desires, the things that you need, moment to moment and day to day, and make every morning an Audie morning. Wake up slow, appreciate your day, feel what you've got, and slowly form your plan. Don't wake up and just start hammering away, driving on yourself and making a life hard for yourself. Because that's one thing that I've learned. Despite all these experts telling you to have routines and to get up driving hard, I'm telling you, don't do that. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. All those people that I see telling you that, I see them burning themselves out with anxiety and stress. They just can't see it in themselves yet. So there you go. Be careful, be gentle with yourself, and have a good week.